Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'll be teaching you guys how to make this drop beading. So I'll be using crystal beads for this particular tutorial. So this is me basically knotting my thread to secure a nice and a tight knot. Like I said again, I'm using crystal beads. So this is me tying it and putting my, basically for this first part, I'm not using any specific amount of bead. The way you want your bead to be dropped, like how dropped you want your bead to be, that's how determined your bead is going to be. I don't have any specific number for this. So this is me basically just checking it if the drop is enough for me. If I want it this way or I want it to go down. So for me, this way is okay. This way is okay for me. I have an online class going on, guys, just in case you are interested to learn more beading tutorials. So this is me tying it. I don't want the threads to be following each other. I just want to do one line and knot my thread, do one line and knot my thread. I don't want the thread to be extended to the second part. So this is me putting my needle for the second one. This is a simple beading, guys. This is just basically one of the simplest beading we have. So here I'm using a normal thread. I'm not using an invisible thread because I know most of you guys know that I normally use an invisible thread to bead. Here I'm using a normal thread to bead, not your regular sewing machine thread. So this is me doing my second layer of the beading. I want to be sure that it drops more than the first one. You don't have to make it too tight. Just release it a little bit. I think this is fine for me. Then I will knot down my thread, guys. Your knotting don't have to be too tight unless the bead is going to be strong. It just needs to be flexible, not too light and not too tight, just in between, in the middle. There's me securing my thread beneath. I'm not securing it at the front, I'm securing it under, guys. Please take note. So this is me cutting my thread. Like I said, I don't want the thread to be extended. I like doing it single so it can be neat. So this is me doing the third one. Basically 4 to 5, depending on how droppy you want your beads to be. For me, 4 to 5 beading is enough for this particular sleeve. So this is me here trying to arrange the sleeve so it can be visible for you guys to see. This is the third one. See how pretty the beading is already coming out. Though we are not finished yet, but it's coming out pretty well. So this is me trying to secure the third beading part. Now we'll move on to the last. I don't want, my client says she don't want too much beading on this, so I'm just trying every way possible for it not to be too much, but still pretty. So this is the last beading I'll be doing for this. The fourth beading, the last beading, because I basically did 4 beading here. So this is the last beading I'll be doing for this. Like I said, my client specifically told me that she don't want too much beading here. So I just had to do the magic. Because too much of everything is bad. And she said she don't want too much and she don't want it too scanty. So I just had to fill up the gap, guys. The last one will be a bit longer because I want it to drop. I want it to drop very well. Don't mind my face, guys. So this is it. It has to drop. Can you see? I didn't want it together with this the opening. I didn't want it. I wanted it a bit wider than the opening. So if she puts her hand in the sleeves, it's going to drop. It won't relax where the opening is. It's going to drop more than the opening. I don't know if you get, guys. Like I said, if you watch closely, it's inside. I'm knotting my thread. I don't knot out. If you've watched my previous beading tutorials on my channel, you'll see that my beading is not my knot is not always visible. I always hide my stitch, my knots. So the second one, I'm going to be using my tape to measure what I have in between the beads so I can get the second line accurate. At this point, guys, you need your tape to do the work because you can't do it offhand. You need your tape to be your eyes and your measurements to get the second part accurate. So this is me. I measured what I had at the other side and I measured it here to get it very well. So it can rhyme with the second one. So it can balance up with the second one. I don't want one side to be looking, to be dancing somehow on the other side to be dancing somehow. I just want it moderate, equal. So that's why I had to check. And now I'll be counting what I have here. You know, I measure the upper part. Now I'll be counting what I have there. So I can put the same bead, the same exact amount of bead here. I don't know if you get what I meant. I meant that I counted the beads one by one to the end of the first layer to get this first layer of the second hand. This is me counting it to make no mistake, guys. So it can be equal, so it can be accurate. Because by the time you end up not measuring this thing, one side will be longer than one side, or one side will be dancing more than one side. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but you need your beads to be accurate. So this is me done. I'm done with the first layer. This is me knotting my thread for the second layer. I had to check if it's too strong because, like I said, it does not have to be too strong. It has to jingle a little bit, not so free and not too tight, just in between. So now I'm done with the first one. I want to do the second one. So I have to check with my tape again to check how many inch I have between the first layer and the second layer, guys. So I'll put it here and make sure my tape is sitting pretty well from where I measured the other one. So after knotting it, guys, I'll go back to the other part to count what I have in the second layer because it has to be accurate. Like I said, it has to be accurate. Like I forgot, then I had to come back to check to count it. Because I know it takes a lot of time, but you just have to be patient with it. You have to count, unless you don't want your beading to be equal. If you want your beading to be equal, guys, you have to count each and every bead. So I'm done. I want to knot it. I want to check with my tape again what I have there, if it's correct, before pressing my needle through. So now this is the second layer. This is the second layer, guys. Trying to adjust the dress to fit, so I won't be making any mistake. So this is how the second layer looks like. See how pretty it is. So we'll be moving on to the next, the third layer. So I have to check again. I counted it first. I was supposed to use my tape to check it first, but I forgot. But I'll still go back. I'll still go back to take my tape to check. It's because it has to be equal. It has to be accurate. Your beading has to be accurate. No guessing work for this beading work, guys. So this is me basically knotting my thread. And like I said, I've counted it before I use my tape. So I just bead. Just beading, guys. Like I said, guys, I have a beading classes going on. So if you're interested, just write hi in the comment section. This is as simple as beginner friendly, well detailed. So this is me piercing it and knotting my thread because I think I've gotten exactly what I need for this third part. So now we move on to the last one. So we are basically almost done. This is the last one. So I was just making sure there's no mistake. Like I said, beading work, you don't guess in beading work. Okay, this is me basically counting how many beads I have at the last one, so I can do the same to the other side. So this is me trying to knot my thread. I've knotted it, so I'm just passing the thread. Like I said, I don't want my bead to be exactly the way the place the opening stopped, so I had to extend the beading down. So by the time my client puts her hand inside, it will drop. It won't be the same as the opening of the sleeve. I have a second video of this just in case you did not get this one right. It's in this particular video. I did two of this exact beading but two different colors. So just in case you didn't get all I've been saying, since there's a second video I did specifically for you guys, so you guys can understand this particular beading process, guys. It's as simple as ABC. That's why I took my time to do two videos for you guys. You know I love you guys. So this is me basically knotting my thread. So we are done with this part. You see how pretty it's looking. You see why I did not do the opening, the beading as short as the open. So this is the second part, guys. It's still the same crystal beads, the same method I used for the blue one. That's what I'm using for this gold now. So I'm knotting my thread. I told you this first part, you have to, the way you want your bead to drop. For the first part, the way you want your bead to drop, that's how you can put your beads. But don't make it too tight, but you can make it drop as much as possible, as much as you want. Like I said, my client said she does not want so much beading. I just had to. Not too big, not too small, just in between. So this is me making sure that this particular one is corresponding, though I did not use the same measurements, but I made sure that it did not drop, it's not dropping too much and it's not too tight, because I feel like the other one was bigger, a bit bigger than this, so I did not use the same amount. You know, I counted before. This one I did not just count. I wanted this one to just be on its own, but still similar to the other one. So this is me doing the second one. second line, second layer, anyhow. Like I said, it's just the way I did the first one. Just watch carefully, you understand it. Carefully, you understand it, guys. Like I said, I'm not using the same amount of crystal I use for the blue one for this particular one. So this particular one, I'm starting from where the drop is dropping. I'm starting the next beading I will do now is where the bead is dropping. The drop stopped at. That's where the beading of the other one will start. I don't know if you guys what I'm saying. Just for you guys that did not get the blue one. Okay, where the beading is dropping at, that's where the next beading will start from. I don't know if that makes sense, but hope I'm making sense, guys. If you don't understand what I mean, watch carefully about the next one I'm about to do now. See where this one is stopping out now. That is where the next beading is starting from. Hope you understand, guys. Where it's stopping at, where the last beading is stopping at, that's where the next beading is starting from. Hope this is as simple as I'm saying it, because this is one of the simplest beading that you can have, guys. Guys, like I said, I wouldn't want my beading to stop at where the opening of the sleeve stop, because I want mine to drop a little bit. So I saw that it was too tight. I had to put more bead for it to drop, guys. So this basically is for it. This is basically it for this particular beading, guys. So this is me done knotting my thread, and I'll have to turn for the other parts, guys, because I'm basically done with this part. So we'll move on to the next. So now, you remember what we did in the other one, that we counted it. We counted. That's what we'll do for this part. So we'll have to count it to be accurate, to get it very well, to get our beading accurate. We measure, we use our tape to measure, and we also count your beads so you can get what you got in the other side to the other side, guys. This is as simple as it is. So this is me putting it, making sure it's the same thing with the first one I did. That's the first hand I did, not the blue one, because this one is on its own and that one is on its own. They are the same beading, but they're for two different people and two different sizes, so you don't want to mix that up. So this is me. I need to check what I have here, then replicate it to the other side. Count my beading as well. So that's it. I think that's basically it. This is as simple as it is. As simple as ABC, guys. So guys, this is me just doing it basically. I'm doing it over and over till I get to my fourth beading part. So just repeat the process continuously, guys. Just keep on doing. As long as you're getting it right, your beading will come out very well. So this is me using my thread, doing the third part of this beading. So I just have to count it to be accurate. Like I said, there's no guessing work in this. You have to do what you did in the first one. Do the same exact thing to the other parts. So one place will not be looking so funny and the other will be looking fine, or both of them can be looking funny. So that's why you have to count and measure, guys. It's me taking my time, putting the bead one after the other. I have to check to make sure I'm not making any mistake. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. See you guys in my next class. Bye. Thank you for subscribing to my channel.